Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, this is the feature-length agenda.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
G'day there, welcome along to the feature-length agenda with myself, G Lane, and Matt Heath. G'day, Matt.
G'day, Mike. How are you?
Good, thanks. No Manaia Stewart just yet. We've just heard he's been embroiled in a breath testing situation the night after the State of Origin Game 3.
Right, so it's a morning breath testing situation.
Yeah, he said he wasn't drinking,
right.
But he's just embroiled in the
being held up.
Wow, the queues of that's vindictive, isn't it?
It is, certainly is. So a Thursday morning before Matariki.
Yeah.
Just slowing people down when they're trying to go about their business?
Yeah, and out West Auckland as well. So they would have been like, right, who is going to be on the piss on a Wednesday night? It's going to be rugby league fans. Where are the most rugby league fans?
West Auckland.
Yeah, yep. So dirty bastards. Anyway, he'll be in just a moment. But let's get right into it. All Blacks back, first home game of the season. The road to France, the road to Gay Paris. Is the South Africans, not West Indies, the South Africans at Go Hard Media Stadium. They can't play at Eden Park, your beloved Eden Park. Because,
the FIFA World Cup,
the women's...
they pulled it out. There's so many compliance issues with FIFA, as you know, that they just can't put a game through there. So Fortress Eden Park, I mean, South Africa were never going to win there, were they?
Nah.
But will they win at Go Hard Stadium?
Will they be comfortable out in South Auckland? I say no. I say no. I think that's an even more difficult task is heading to Mount Smart. Very unfamiliar surrounds out there. Some would say a little bit shitty.
Yeah, and also what I would say why I think the South Africa will lose, I mean, is even though they absolutely pumped the Aussies, is because they like to sort of put on a different face before the World Cup. You know, they think about these things.
Yeah,
they never show everything.
They did it in the last one, didn't they?
Yeah, they don't show everything. Like in New Zealand, is well known and well documented, we have to win every game or else we turn up with pitchforks and try and burn Fozzie alive.
Yeah, and that's what will happen if they lose this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it does not matter. Like these games don't matter.
They matter. Matt Heath, you shut your mouth.
In a World Cup year, we'll lose everything and win the World Cup.
No.
Bloody won every game.
Bloody useless.
Perfect.
Bloody useless, that Fozzie.
ABs looked bloody good, though, against the pretty shitty-looking Los Pumas, though.
Yeah, they did. And I think I mentioned on the Hauraki breakfast this morning, I think it's going to be a different team. It's going to be a different All Blacks team because this first three matches, my prediction is the first three matches of this rugby championship are going to be mildly experimental. And the last two against Aussie and South Africa are going to be when we're going to start to see our playing 15.
Look who came through the checkpoint with flying colours. Honest.
Wow, look who smells a bit like booze.
Booze bust the next morning after State of Origin will give you a heart attack. But no, we're in the clear.
Drive on.
Yeah, drive on.
Did you get a drive on or not?
Yeah, I got a drive on. I felt like a real twit because I was in the ACC ute as well, so I pulled up. And the guy
Ford Falcon?
Gave me the once over on the side of the ute because there's all these faces printed, all your faces printed along the side of the ute. He gave it the old one, so I was like, oh yeah. Full name and address into the old microphone here.
Yep.
Beep. Carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
No, so you didn't get waved on. You had to...
Yeah.
You're not going to get waved on in the ACC
No. I thought you meant you got... Because there's a difference between the full wave
drive-through.
You get the drive-through.
No, it will sadden you to know that the ACC doesn't hold enough sway to get through booze buses.
They let 20 cars through either side and then stopped you on the ACC.
Yeah, it's not a get out of jail free car.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you didn't blow over.
No.
That would have been a disappointing way to start the long weekend.
Yeah,
we're just looking forward to some three-man rugby at Go Hard Stadium. Just really chomping up the turf for the Wars the next day.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's already in a sorry state, isn't it? It was holding up a couple of weeks ago.
25 scrums.
Yeah, well, they're not used. That turf's not going to be used to, 16 men
with their sprigs pointing backwards.
Yeah, and actually pushing in a scrum because normally it's just a couple of beer hugs, isn't it? And
well, this is something that I think that the Warriors should pioneer is the tight head in rugby league because you never see it. You never see a win against the feet.
It's a gentleman's agreement, though, isn't it?
In
rugby league, isn't it a gentleman's agreement?
I mean, to a degree, but it's it's also within the laws of the game that you can push and you can counter ruck. Tohu Harris tries it every now and down, and again he'll have a little ruck at the ball. But I'd like to see a full-on push. That's one of my father's claims to fame for the Burnham Military Camp Rugby League team. That was their go-to move.
They pushed.
Yeah, they pushed.
How's that? Oh my God, they push in a scrum?
Yeah.
Well, if it came down to like the grand final or something, and what's the difference between pushing and not pushing? You're going to push.
100%.
Then I reckon. Because to me, it just looks like it. It looks like a Mark Lundy funeral situation at every single one. Like the hook is just not like the binding is pretty much just holding on to the jersey.
That would be good if one time they went down with the blue blockers on in honour of Mark Lundy. The Warriors just all pulled blue blockers out of their back of their pants, put them on, and do a full Mark Lundy league scrum.
And wailed just the entire time.
I remember it was quite controversial in the sevens scene, because even in sevens they push. And that's only a 6-man scrum.
Yeah.
And there was a controversial, I think it might be banned now, but what they did is they used to pull the opposition. So the ball used to go in and the opposition just used to backpedal and pull their front row over and then dive on the ball. And that used to be a tactic in sevens, but I think it's been outlawed now.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. I've got a couple of issues I want to raise about the All Blacks. Firstly, that thing I think we were talking about on this podcast, or maybe I was blasting on about it to Wells on the Matt and Jerry show, but they've got to get rid of the advantage rule in rugby union. Just blow it up. Otherwise it's just constantly playing zombie football where the opposition is always just getting to do what they want, and it doesn't matter what happens because it's going to go back to the penalty. Just get rid of. I know people say, maybe make it shorter, make it 10 seconds, because now it's a significant advantage that overrides the disadvantage of the thing. Get rid of it.
I agree, but I also think there should be another element to it. That if you are under advantage, you need to play proper champagne footy. You need to do stupid shit. Like you need to be playing like Razzle Dazzle.
You haven't played Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah. Advantage over.
You've lost the advantage and the penalty because you didn't play Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah, because you've got to play Razzle Dazzle. Instead, what happens is they normally do a chip kick or a crossfield kick just on the hope that someone will pick it up and score, and then I'll come back for the penalty.
It's just a real problem with that zombie football where it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, and the defence has got nothing that they can do.
It should be, because then all of a sudden you're not playing rugby union anymore because the defensive team has to play against they can't contest rucks.
No.
They can barely tackle. They can't go for an intercept. Like there's nothing on. It should just be, I think it's, in league, everything's adjudicated on vibe. Yeah. And it's basically if the next bloke that touches the ball gets an advantage, then it's advantage over. And if he doesn't, then we'll blow it up. And that's what I reckon they should do. You can't make another pass. One phase.
You can't just do it until they lose the ball or score.
I think if the ref just went, penalty advantage, Razzle Dazzle, Razzle Dazzle.
I want to see some champagne.
Yeah, and you got a Razzle Dazzle, and if the
I'm looking at you, McKenzie, Razzle Dazzle,
and it's like call Razzle Dazzle, and like sirens go in the stadium, Razzle Dazzle,
the lights
like
flicker.
Shit, that would be good.
Yeah.
So the penalty is just like boom, and
Razzle Dazzle.
All the gas things go off. It's Razzle Dazzle. A lot of pressure comes on the number 10 to do something. Just throw an absolute Hail Mary out to the wing.
Yeah,
and then you can come back for the
a huge speculator to the blind side,
and then they blow it up and bring it back, and Sam Cane has to go and argue with Ben O'Keefe and be like, well, look, I feel like that was pretty razzling. I'm not going to argue the dazzle part of it, but the razzle just wasn't there, so we're coming back for the penalty.
Or they go to the crowd, and then, they mic him up like in the NFL, and Ben O'Keefe goes, we're just going to have adjudicate, was that Razzle Dazzle enough? And the crowd, like they either up or down, like a Roman Colosseum, and they go, boo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just got Carlos Spencer up there sitting in the throne with his thumb wavering, like, not Razzly.
Well, one thing's for sure, at Go Hard Stadium, there's going to be a lot of zombie rugby because both teams will be looking to just keep it close enough to kick, looking for penalties.
Yeah.
It's definitely South Africans. That's how they'll roll.
Yeah, and if you don't forget, the biggest halftime show ever seen in rugby broadcast history is back again. Another chance for you to win, go on the draw to win this Ford Ranger that Manaia spent a couple of weeks driving around the country, and it was Owakuni was the first stop.
Owakuni was the first stop, thrown off a little bit by a video of me quite clearly at Tongariro, the national park.
A little bit of feedback on that.
And I remember driving from there to Owakuni being like, I don't think this is technically part of Owakuni, but I digress. The next place that we're going to, I've already seen the video. I know the order that these are coming out in. And I remember of all the towns that we drove into, I thought if I was going to move to one of them, it would be this one.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I really liked it.
So tune in. You can only enter at halftime. You've got
Are you
to
going to
watch
wind back the
halftime.
clock after all this travelling around? You're going to get in there and wind back the clock to where you started?
On the Ranger.
odometer, yeah.
No, it's gonna. It comes with experience. This Ranger.
It's seasoned.
It is a 2017, but it's been tripped
Great
out.
year. I used to have a 2017 Ranger. Great year for Rangers. That's when the grill really was perfected.
Yeah.
I love the grill around that time.
Yeah.
It's sort of. I think the new Rangers don't have as cool a grill.
Yeah.
But they've done all sorts of this on. My favourite, and I think I've said this before, but my favourite modification they made is they took the headlights out of a Mustang and put it into a Ford Ranger. That
looks cool.
Yeah.
So Trust. That's all thanks to our legends at Trust Motors. Go check them out. Trustmotors.co.nz. They have got a fleet of some pretty sweet wheels going on there. Plus, on Saturday, if you're in the Auckland area and you need a lift out to Go Hard Stadium because it's tricky to get to in terms of parking. We've got the Ultra pre-games going on at the sweatshop. We've got TAB will be there with a bunch of bonus bets to give away. Manaia and I will be behind the bar, so there'll no doubt be some miscellaneous drinks being flying over the bar. And there's a bunch of merch to give away. And like I said, first 100 people there will get a free lift out to Go Hard Stadium.
Are you doing the commentary from down there?
No. We have to skedaddle back to the studio.
Right.
James McConey and I will be doing that call on 7 o'clock on Sky Sport 9. Back on Sky Sport 9, really keeping our audience on their toes in terms of channels, because it was on Pop-Up 1 against Argentina on Sunday morning. Now we're back on Sky Sport 9. Warriors are on Sky Sport 6 on Sunday. And then I think we're back on a pop-up channel once again. So it's real.
Well, just keep looking. Whenever I tune into the ACC, I just keep looking and keep searching.
Just keep going.
Keep going until I find it.
This kind of reeks of, you know how India run world cricket and they'll decide where people get to play and they'll put you in unfavourable conditions because they're a little bit threatened by you. That's what I'm feeling from Nisbo at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like Sky Sport 9 is a home game for us.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And we've got the Caravan. The Caravan's the resurrection of the Caravan continues. It's going to be at Sweatshop Brew Kitchen on Saturday as well. You can actually go in there and commentate some
One question,
footage.
what's it called, a sweatshop? Like we're talking like a Vietnamese sweatshop where you're like, they got people on the machines. What are they going?
Since it's a sweatshop brew kitchen, it's a sweatshop of beer. So it's a sweatshop downstairs making beer instead of clothes.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, because I don't want to support child labour or anything.
No, it's child labour and making beer.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah, that's
They love
but if you want to book a table and ensure your spot, text Ultra to 3236 and book your table. Bazball Cumball. Series is alive.
Has that South African
Kevin Peterson.
Kevin Peterson?
No, they got rid of him. They got rid of him.
Did they?
I didn't see him for that lead.
His bullshit after the last loss was so stupid and hypocritical from a guy who used to text the opposition saying that the Bazball was crap because they talked to the opposition. Also not understanding that maybe they took a while to get out onto the field as gamesmanship before they got out there. He's in his annoying... It's got this English accent. It's like
the hybrid.
He's the
worst.
So punchable.
Anyway, and he's such a take hunter. He just wants to have the hottest take, so that it's going to piss everyone off and go viral on TikTok. I don't know. I presume that all his mates are on TikTok. I don't know why he would want to do that.
Sounds like he's on TikTok.
Oh, 100%. And he's got the Robbie Williams tattoo as well on his arm. Get that shit off your arm, Kevin Peterson. You know what I mean?
Kevin Peterson, fuck off.
Happy Matariki, but get it off your fucking arm.
And when he, remember we had that penguin piss fringe? Remember? He had that blonde penguin piss.
Yeah.
And he had a black rinse through his hair and the penguin had squatted on his fringe and just done a massive wee all the way down his
he
head.
had an out as well because there was that the photos of him and Flintoff after that massive night and they were all dishevelled in that. Like, if that was the last time you saw Kevin Peterson, he rode up into the sunset, you'd be like, great, what a legend of the game.
Yeah.
But he's had to come out and spoil it.
There was someone put a great tweet out saying, now I know why Kevin Peterson's career was cut short. Because he actually, looking at his stats, his career got cut short pretty quickly. And after spending 5 days listening to him on the commentary, they can understand why his teammates kicked him out of the team.
being in the shed with
Exactly.
But what do you reckon? Can they do it? They have to win.
If Australia gets sucked into their game plan again like they did in Leeds, the next game's at Old Trafford, and I think the pitch was more suitable to England. I don't think they like those kind of slower pitches of the first two. If they get sucked in again, they're a chance.
Yeah.
They're a chance because all they want to do is move the game on so quickly.
Without horrific crimes against the spirit of cricket, they would have lost the last one.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, it has been there and thereabouts the whole time.
Yeah, and I kind of think that if you had to tell me that there was a team that's in the position that England's in, 2-1 down, that comes back to win it, it would have to be this English team. So they bring that element of chaos into it, and you just don't know what's going to happen. Plus, there's obviously they'll review the tape and be like, oh, they're trying to bowl this and they're setting the field like that. There's no amount of tape you can review that's going to prepare you for Mark Wood's just seething pace as it just comes zipping down. I was watching highlights of him last night, and it's frightening. It's zipping around.
And they've got to pick Davey Dum Dum, right, just so we can get out to Stewart Broad one more time.
Yeah, they will. They will. And I was a guest appearance on the BYC podcast, and we talked about this and the fact that I don't think Australia are in a position to start making funky selections. I think they're confident enough. They're 2-1 up to say, you know what, we're not going to change the lineup. Davey, you're in, because who are they going to replace him with? So I reckon we are going to see another Davey Dum Dum Stewart Broad.
Oh, I love it.
He's 2 behind the record. The record is Atherton and McGrath. So McGrath got Atherton out 19 times.
I'd just love to see Warner get out. And now it's in his head.
Oh, my God, it's so
if
good.
anything can get into that head, it's in his head. It would just be so good.
It's my favourite rivalry in world cricket because I hate both of them. Like, Stewart Broad's headband really pisses me off.
Oh, his legs
too long.
His legs take up 2/3 of his body.
They come up to his nose.
Frog-like.
Yeah. But then to see him taking out David Warner, it makes me so happy because you just know how much it must piss him off.
Have you seen the montage? It's on the ACC Instagram and Facebook. It's a montage of all 17 dismissals of Stewart Broad on David Warner.
I love it.
And there's so many familiar, like caught behind point and around point area.
Right. You'd think he'd work on it.
Yeah, I think he'd work on that. But I'm looking forward to that because it's almost...
Imagine if the last ever David Warner test appearance, he went out to Stewart Broad for one.
It has to be.
Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's written in the stars. Surely it's written in the Matariki stars that he is going to get out.
Yeah.
And it'd be great if he takes the record off Atherton as well.
We'll check it at dawn tomorrow. Check the stars. Like, yep, Broad's getting Warner. When does that next match kick off? Is that tonight? Tomorrow night?
No, Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit of a break.
Gap,
a bit of a break to repair your marriage and your partnership and your relationships at home before the next one starts. The IPL, the American IPL, is kicked off.
The APL?
Is it? No, yeah.
Or are they calling it the American IPL?
ACA?
No, because the Indian Premier League, pretty much they own all the teams. They've got the Mumbai Indians, New York.
That's
they have the Super Kings.
That's going to confuse a lot of people, the Mumbai Indians, New York. They're trying to pressure people into not calling themselves the Redskins and the Indians and such.
But they're sold out. But
it's the original Indians.
Yeah. The American Indian, Mumbai Indian, New York.
Yeah, American Indian League.
So that's kicked off. It's Lockie Ferguson's over there, Finn Allen's over there. There's
Guppies in there.
Guppies in there. There's quite a few big names. Most of the West Indies are there because they don't care about anything else. They haven't qualified for the World Cup.
That's incredible.
What's the situation in terms of crowds, numbers and all that
sold
kind of
out.
stuff?
The first game's sold out.
Wow.
They're all being played in Texas. There's 2 venues in Texas. And the first weekend is sold out.
I went to I did the classic thing, going to a baseball game and trying to describe cricket to an American once. It's quite interesting, eh? They think it's crazy that you run in.
Yeah.
Like, why is he running into pitch?
And also, why is your bat so flat? Who ran over your bat?
Because from their point of view, wouldn't it be better, this guy was saying, but wouldn't it still be better just to stand there and hiff it and bounce it? Like a pitch?
Well, but the difference is you've got to roll your arm over.
I know that's a rule, but they said you have to keep your arm straight. He goes, but why? Why don't you just hiff it in? And I was thinking, cricket would be really interesting. I was thinking the advantages of this would be, one, you could play in wet weather, because the main reason why you stop is because you don't want the bowlers rolling their legs. Yeah. So if you just chucked it and bounced it, so you could get up to 150 chucking it.
But like Beamers, can you still bowl full tosses?
Yeah, you bowl a full toss. That's just like a baseball pitch. It's about the same distance back.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like Will Farrell said, he's a dirt specialist. There's dudes that throw it into the dirt.
Still got a seam? Still a seam?
I think you'd have to go the seam still, although it'd be hard to get it upright, wouldn't it?
Well, there's seams on baseball. I mean, a fast pitch in baseball is a 4-seamer fastball. You still use the seam.
I don't mind it. So maybe instead of a rain delay, because you know how the rain delay is the bane of the ACC's existence. If it's like rain delay, all right, we got 2 options. We either stop play altogether or no run-ups and you just biff it and you're allowed to bend your arm.
Yeah. Oh. But it does seem crazy if you watch baseball your whole life and you see the pitcher running in from the boundary. What's this guy doing? He's lost his fucking mind.
And then all of a sudden you see turning out for the West Indies, CC Sabathia to the crease.
But that's exciting. I think it's a great move. that American IPL.
Yeah. And also, if you're one of the players, wouldn't you just love to go and play for New York?
Oh, yeah, you just get to live the dream over in the United States.
Well, lovely Trenty. He's in the Mumbai Indians, New York.
Yeah,
so
he's doing some great work.
Tell you what, the early retirements of New Zealand cricketers are going to come in hot and heavy with all these glamorous. It's one thing playing in, like a Bangladesh or Pakistan 20-over competition, but playing in the Texas one, you're like, shall I continue my contract or just rip it up in Texas?
Yeah, shall I go play down in Rangiora Oval?
Yeah, the Otago Volts call you up. So, hey, are you free this weekend? Oh, where are we playing?
Yeah.
And is it 5 degrees, University Oval? Yeah, I think I might stay over here in Texas.
And then there's the UAE Premier League as well, which is almost as rich a league. I think it goes IPL, India, and then it goes the UAE one. They've got a lot of cash to throw around. So, yeah. Look out for a lot of part-timers like Trent Bolt on casual New Zealand contracts, as they call them. Right, let's move into the wires. I was off the bandwagon, Matt Heath.
Yeah, you were. You jumped off so quickly.
I did, but I'm straight back on.
This is what your exact text was. This is what they do to you. They draw you in, then they hurt you.
And this is what I've been saying all week. Like, you're welcome back on. Hop off, hop on. This is part of being a Warriors fan. There's a lot of things that people don't understand about Warriors fandom, and I think that's why people that aren't Warriors fans, they just don't get it, the whole keeping the faith thing.
Yeah.
A large part of being a Warriors fan is fucking hating the Warriors. And that's a thing that I think a lot of other fan bases don't get. No one hates the All Blacks, we don't hate the Black Caps. But yeah, it's the pain, it's enduring it, it's enjoying it. And I'm all for people.
This is actually set up. I hate to say it, set up a little bit for heartache this weekend because obviously fantastic against the Reels, Parramatta Eels, the Reels. Beautiful, what a performance,
Seals.
And then come back and get bitten by the Sharks.
Absolutely. Because also we get to celebrate Sean Johnson. He'll be paying his 201st.
Yeah, that's terrible in league. There's never been a round number celebration that's gone well for the home team.
No, but the advantage for the Warriors is he did that last week. So this week, it's just a golf clap because we didn't get.
That's right. I remember celebrating that, but I was quite steamed when I was watching that game. So now I remember actually celebrating that, and now I've forgotten it already.
Unless his midi farts had a baby.
Well, this is the thing, and you might know this by the time you're listening to this podcast, but he was on alert. He was in the drop zone last week, so there was a chance he wasn't going to play. And the baby wasn't born last week, so it could well be born this week. I've actually dropped him in my fantasy team because of that
You think the
baby theory? Yeah,
baby fart.
I think that potentially it could be on the cards.
Does he need to be there for the?
Well, this is what I was saying. I was talking to Ben Hurley on the Mad Monday
when you're
podcast.
in Auckland.
Yeah, you're there or thereabouts.
Look, I mean, I've been through quite a few childbirths myself, and look. My wife didn't notice me missing for an hour and a half when I went and watched some cricket.
Yeah.
So why can't you can just pop off?
Oh, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Although it's a little bit different when you were just watching a bit of cricket and then she flicks, or someone in the room flicks the TV on. Oh, isn't that your husband? Oh, is that where he went? And he's down there at Go Hard Media
Stadium. Who's holding my hand? And look up and it's just his brother or something standing there.
Doug Johnson.
It's Doug Johnson. Yeah, I mean, Sean, look, he just needs to go, love, I just need to take a shit.
Yep.
I'll be back in a bit.
I'll be back in about 80 minutes, plus 10 minutes for halftime.
Yeah, I'll be back soon. And then, he obviously needed to set a precedent beforehand doing long dumps, like an hour and a half, 2 hour dumps, just to set a precedent so she didn't notice him missing for a couple of hours.
About a month ago.
Yeah. Anyway,
just start farting them out. I think this is going to be a tough test for the Wars because the Sharks have sort of found a little bit of form recently. They're not a great defensive team, but they can run big scores up on you. And we beat them last time we played. Another thing that plays into their favour is that Nico Hines got dropped for State of Origin last night. So he will be turning out for the Sharks this weekend. It'll be refreshed and ready to go.
Where are the Sharks on the table?
The Sharks would be just behind us off the top of my head. They're hovering around. There's a log jam.
7.
There's a log jam from like 3 through to 10. And they're all within about 2 to 4 points of each other. So,
I heard a commentator when I was watching last week's game through a massive head of steam. I can't believe I wasn't thrown out of that bar, but it's probably because I'd stopped moving. But I heard a commentator. I heard it come over the sound system. Warriors are the team to beat. That's what I heard him say. I heard someone say that.
Yeah, this
Really?
is the thing. Well, it's
An Australian said that.
It was an Australian, yeah.
Said that Warriors are now the team to beat.
Yeah, exactly. People are saying that, and I was saying this earlier this week. There's been a couple of checkpoints. One where people started talking about the Warriors as they're actually a good team, rather than check out the Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, they beat these guys.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, you've got to bring your A game if you want to beat the Warriors. And then now this week, people are starting to say, this could be their year. I think those people are just looking for clicks, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be our year. And our year doesn't mean win at all. Our year could mean top 4. Our year could mean winning our first playoffs game, We haven't been in the playoffs in about 5 years since Roger Tuivasa-Sheck won Dally M. So this could be, I'm feeling great about it.
So
2011 all over again.
So that's 4 p.m. On Sunday, Sky Sports 6. Dai Henwood and Keezy back on the call. Here's a little taste. Here is Dai Henwood getting very sexual because Marcel Montoya scored a try and Dai absolutely sliding off his seat.
As it goes through the hands, and Montoya slides in the left-hand corner, easy as you like. Look at him in full flight. The sweat's just glistening. He looks like a fountain. Oh, I want him in my living room, spraying all over the family. I love you, Marcelo Montoya. He's put the Warriors in the lead, 10-4, kick to come.
So, nothing like listening to Dai Henwood get absolutely off his face.
I've got a question for you, actually. I was just thinking about that. Would you rather the Warriors, let's say 2011, where they got into the final and lost under the cover of the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand? It was a terrible time for them to be there.
Yeah.
But would you rather them got to the final and lose? Could you handle the heartache of the losing in the final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only because of the hype leading up to it.
Yeah, because you could
so
believe
good.
for a week.
Heck yeah.
And also the semi-final win would be so phenomenal that you could dine off that for the rest of your life.
And also the two highlights in club history were 2002 and 2011 when we made the grand final and lost. So I'd love to just see that again.
Yeah, and get over there as well. Just bin the commentary.
Yeah.
Just
Get over there.
Yeah.
Get over to Sydney and...
Not you, Lane.
What?
You can't. You're not allowed to travel to important New Zealand fixtures overseas. You bring a hoodoo.
I need to break this curse. Needs to be broken. Otherwise, because if it carries on, it needs to be broken.
There'd be a whole thing. It was like, oh my god, G Lane's in the stadium. Then the TAB starts unloading the odds.
Fox Sports zooms in on it. Oh dear. Oh dear.
We tried to stop
the jinx in attendance.
revoke his passport.
Snuck in on a catering trolley.
Yeah, just got kind of got the glasses with the moustache and the fake nose.
Mr. Incognito.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the TAB, our TAB good punt this week. Gone for a Wimbledon. Wimbledon's on at the moment.
Yep.
And I've stuck a $100 bonus bet on, it's pretty missionary to be honest, but it was Carlos Alcaraz and Djokovic to have be in the final of Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Carlos Alcaraz, he's world number 1 at the moment.
Yeah.
Playing better on grass, hasn't had a great run on grass, but he's playing pretty well up against Djokovic, who's pretty much of a robot, so he'll probably be there. But
I always say this about Alcaraz, that he doesn't go good on grass. He's 19. When have you seen him on grass?
Oh, he's played 2 years at Wimbledon, and it's been the only one he hasn't made the finals to, that's why.
So he was 17 and 18 and didn't win Wimbledon, so then they're like, oh, he's no good on grass.
Well, he didn't, because he's amazing on clay and hard court, and he was amazing as 17 and 18-year-old, I think, and because he doesn't play a lot of grass court. But apparently, he's been studying Murray.
Murray Kirkness.
No, Sir Murray Kirkness. No.
Murray from Flight of the Conchords.
No.
Murray Taulagi, the winger for the Queensland Maroons.
No, not Murray Mexted either. Andy Murray. He's been studying Andy Murray because he's a 2-time winner at Wimbledon, and about how you operate on a grass court, because the ball doesn't bounce as much. You can't slide.
You'd be to be a grass court specialist would be a crazy move, wouldn't it?
Oh, totally crazy, because he's only one tournament a year.
Yes. So you're just going to really put all your effort into all your eggs in that basket, winning Wimbledon once a year.
Yeah, real buffy. And speaking of competitive competitions, Manaia Stewart and I, we have been invited into the 2023 Kiwi Pong Pro-Am.
Oh, that's a real figure in your cap.
The Invitational is happening. And we've got 4 positions in this team to give away. So it's basically, the Kiwi Pong this year is a invitational. It's a Pro-Am. So you can only come if you're invited or you've won a place in the team.
I was going to say, who are the pros in this Pro-Am?
Well, look, it's back and it's in September. We've got 4 team passes to give away. Text PONG to 3236. Get your team together. It's kicking off, the preliminary rounds are kicking off at Miss Lucy's in Auckland. We've got 32 teams will battle it out, and then we head to the Leader NZ Finals Stadium at an undisclosed location. So this is going to be, think ESPN Cornhole, finals, think that kind of level of production. And it's all brought to you by Leader NZ, home of lasagna Toppa. The winner gets to go to, I think it was Bali. And compete in apparently there's a bar designed in Bali specifically around beer pong, Kiwi pong, and you get to go and play there in a stadium in there. So text pong to 3236 to get involved. You got some news on the nickname bracket, Manaia. Some bad news for one of our favourite sons.
Well, for the Hairy Jav, unfortunately. And I think, as is customary in an election, where the losing team will come out and concede the election, the Hairy Jav took to social media the other day to concede his side of the bracket to steady the ship. He said, go well, steady the ship.
Tough bracket.
I know. We were going to give him a call. I texted him and said, hey, can we give you a call? And he said, no.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
No.
He doesn't want to, because once again, he's been overshadowed by Kane Williamson.
Yeah.
Look, and I think in a few years when the dust settled, he'll be ready to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I hope that, we can mend that bridge and talk to him about it when he is ready to. But that does mean steady the ship through.
What's the other side?
It's the sexy Kamal.
Sexy Kamal.
The sexy Kamal beat out Dog Roll, beat out all comers, beat off a lot of comers actually.
Yeah. So the final is an all cricket final. It's the Sexy Camel versus Steady the Ship in the nickname bracket.
Jeez.
Which I
where's your money?
I didn't predict the Sexy Camel would make it this far.
I think you're right. I think he sort of lumped into the situation. It's like the NBA finals.
Yeah.
You got lucky a few times.
Yeah.
You can't get lucky all the way.
Where the Western Conference finals was really the NBA finals.
Yeah.
But because of the way the brackets worked, which was again randomly generated. It wasn't me that picked them all.
Here we go.
Despite having been thrown under the bus to every one of these athletes that's complained, every time they've got a DM back being like, oh yeah, Manaia put it together, so go and blame him.
Yeah, Eye Sockets is after you. He's coming for you.
I know.
Eye Sockets got knocked out early.
Yeah.
He faced a pretty tough, I think it was the Hairy Jav maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, you're going to run into the Hairy Jav at some point.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to be prepared. You've got to have your game prepared for it. It's at the.
That's right.
It's at the go to the World Cup. You've got to be prepared to beat the All Blacks at some
100%.
point if you want to win the title.
Like every now and then, Federer and Nadal would meet each other early doors, and people would be upset about it. But look, that's just tennis, mate.
No, they wouldn't. They were always seeded 1 and 2, so they met in the final.
No, I feel like maybe the first year that Nadal was on the tour. But anyway, the Sexy Camel versus Steady the Ship is the grand final.
Yeah, that's big.
My money would be on Steady the Ship. He has been an absolute buzzsaw through this whole nicknames bracket. He's run the table.
Well, I've got to say, in terms of a nickname, it came really early. I think it was in our first game because we were very early on in our first season because we were talking about steadying the ship. It's been slightly controversial for openers, I found, after a while. A couple of openers wouldn't put the hats on, and then we realised, I see our name for Kane Williamson is an insult to you guys because we're really saying you guys always go out. But then the fact that we brought the captain's hat in because it was steady the ship, and then he became captain. It was just fated to be. It was so perfect. Plus, has there ever been a more cumbersome nickname to be so popular?
Steady the Ship. Yeah.
Steady the Ship Williamson.
100%. And it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy because we then, the hats become the most iconic piece of merchandise that we've ever come out with. And so then it thereby promotes the nickname more. G Lane's not sitting here in a sexy camel hat.
No.
He's sitting here in a Steady the Ship
I like
hat.
a sexy camel hat, though.
Would
it be like sort of like one of those...
No, he fake eyelashes.
Oh, yeah.
And beautiful eyelash and a hump on your back.
But it's always funny with the Steady the Ship hats when you're watching New Zealand play in Australia or overseas and they ask about them, they go, if Ian Smith actually deems to answer it, he gets so furious about it. So it's how they support the captain. So people just see it as they're wearing a captain's hat for the captain. But they don't know. They don't know the bloody history of it.
I have heard Smitty reluctantly kind of through gritted teeth go, well, yes, Steady the Ship, he's known as. That's why you can see him just hating life.
Yeah, well, even
it's like a kidney stone coming out.
in his own bedroom, he's got a knockoff Steady the Ship hat in the background. It's bizarre, and you even see people even in England, you would see people with knockoff Steady the Ship hats every now and then.
It's great stuff. But then again, you see they try to get the knockoff, and they look like a Nazi.
Yeah,
because they go. There's
too high.
There's a blue one available.
Yeah,
there's not a white one, and the blue one
right.
goes straight up the front, and you look like part of the SS.
Yeah,
so you got to watch
close to a hate crime at any given point.
Yeah, absolutely. White on of the week, Matt Heath. You're obviously balls deep in the MLB.
Well, it's interesting because it's the All-Stars break at the moment, and in MLB they do the draft at an interesting time. So they do the draft in the mid-season, and Rob Manfred is the commissioner of MLB. And so he was doing the draft, and he comes out and announces who's been picked by who and who's up next. And of course, he was involved in the whole Astros situation with the bin gate situation. And so that was so many years ago, and it's so good that baseball fans will not forget anything. This was in a stadium in Seattle. And every time he came out to announce at the stadium who the last pick was and who the next one was, the whole place booed and booed and booed, and they will never forget. And it was just so good. And there's so many. He has to come out so many times and so often. And then the booing just got more and more. You know, like normally when someone plays at another field and they've been traded from somewhere else, you get the first boo. But they just booed. And it's so long ago, and they'll never make him forget. And finally, after I think I watched, and I enjoyed it so much because it was really the Dodgers that they screwed over with that whole cheating scandal. And fine, I think it was the 40th boo in a row that I'd watched because, I mean, how many other people are watching the MLB draft? I don't know.
Yeah, a lot.
But it was the biggest boo ever, and he finally couldn't take it anymore, and he just stood back and went and did the hands out.
Yeah.
Well, you're still booing me, and then they went for him. It was so good. It gave me a wide on.
I also saw because they have the home run derby, don't they? In the All Stars, and I saw. Have you seen that kid gets absolutely sconed in the outfield? Like home run derby is like, it is what it is. What's written on the tin, and they have a bunch of kids in the outfield. And a kid gets absolutely sconed in the head, and I've got no sympathy for him because he's got one job. And that's to catch the fly balls. And he didn't catch the fly ball, and it sconed him straight in the head.
It's literally all he's there for.
Yeah, exactly. So
I like those slam dunk competitions and those things like that, but I don't know about the home run thing. It's like, it goes up, you swing. There's not much in it for you. It's not.
There's no jeopardy. There's no jeopardy.
Even the All-Star game's boring when the National League play the American League because you've got no skin in the game really if your general league you support wins or your player hits. This whole season's problematic. The draft's kind of boring unless you're a real nerd. The All-Star game, do we really care? And then the big dingers, who cares?
The drafts in American sport are wild. Like you said, the booing. They do that in the NBA as well. But they'll boo, like New York fans in particular will be in attendance to boo the pick if they think that they've picked the wrong pick. And so here's a 17, 18-year-old kid who's just achieved a lifelong goal, and then everyone's like, boo, you suck. And he's like, what I was at high school 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the hardest bit is watching someone that's there with their family because and it's all set up, and they were the big, they were the big, and then the big one, and everyone's been talking about them, and everyone knows these guys are superstars before they even play. The household names for baseball stars, and then they just sit there with the family, and it's going on, and it's going on, and it's going on, and
and they're dropping, they don't get drafted.
And then they come out and they get booed because they wanted some other guy. So it's a lot. It's emotional.
What's your wide on, Manaia? I'm picking it's the Waz.
Yeah, it's predictable. Every time they win, it's the Waz. The way they won as well, it was like the second quarter of that first half, they just ran in a bunch of tries. Luke Metcalf scored 2 tries. Bang, bang. They looked excellent. I know everyone's wanking on about, under strength, state of origin, weak, all these players out, whatever. I don't know. We can only play the team that's in front of us. We fucking humped them. So.
It's a fucking huge crowd. That stadium's big, eh?
Yep. They all got to watch it. They all got to see what we were doing. And it was an old-fashioned rugby league humping, and it gave me a massive wide on.
Yeah, that was great. 8 tries?
Yeah. It was tremendous.
It just kept on coming, didn't it?
Yeah,
it just kept on coming.
And you got to see the Rick James Lesniak lean out, jump out. You got to see that every game when he's out, but he reaches in.
He's the best in the league at doing it. We were talking about it last night on the State of Origin commentary. One of the guys, Brian Toppa, did it for the Blues, and it was such a, I don't know, watching a State of Origin player try and do Dallin Watene-Lesniak in the corner, it just put into perspective how good he is at that. I think he might be the best finisher in the league in that right corner. He's
it's hard to tackle someone that's 5 metres out when he puts the ball down.
That's right. There's nothing you can really do because he's in mid-air, so there's no amount you can throw his body.
You must. I was thinking about that. I was watching the other day, and I think you have to change the way your defence goes over because normally you would dive to the body, but now you dive at the arm.
Oh, yeah, I think the ball.
You just dive the ball or the forearm because all you have to do, because they're holding it in one hand, is just to jolt it and it's gone. So whether I suppose you've got your other hand to fend them off but it'll change the way you
but
go
it's
about it.
It's a big risk because if you're Dallin Watene-Zelezniak and you see a guy trying to anticipate the dive and go for the block,
you just stop.
We just run straight over him.
yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. It's a tough one, but I'm glad he's on our team.
Oh, hell yeah. It's so good.
Sweet. Attendance required this weekend. There's just a couple of games going on. All Blacks Springboks, 7 p.m. Saturday night on Sky Sport 9. It's on Radio Hauraki as well. So you can simulcast that, and it's on iHeartRadio. All brought to you by Hundy. Just take 2 all-natural capsules before bed to help promote your natural liver detox, and I will vouch for it because I do it before every commentary. And the Waz versus the Sharks, they're backing up at Go Hard Stadium, 4 p.m. Sunday, Sky Sports 6, all thanks to 4 and 20 pies. Right, now it's time to get into
Toppa Plays of the Week. Brought to you by Leader NZ's Lasagna Toppa.
Right, number 3 it's the Canberra Raiders and their Ashes try celebration. They recreated Johnny Bairstow's dismissal. And the great thing about this is, as it happened live, I was watching the Ashes, and someone sent them the footage, and they played it during the Ashes.
Did they?
Yeah, they played it during the Ashes. They put up a little screen, and then they found out later on that the guy that was batting was actually an English player as well.
Yeah,
so it was great stuff. But you can we have a listen to it, or we've just got a picture of it.
Come away with a great tackle for the Dragons. Hello, 5,000 for sports bets coming. Here we go. We're an Edgbaston. The stuffing and the palm is
No shame. Aussies have no shame, eh?
It's so good. I love it. And even did you see was it the G20 summit where it was the Prime Minister of Australia and the Prime Minister of England? One came with some sandpaper and the other came with a sign saying 2-1.
I love that.
It's so good. And number 2, the footage of the moat around Mendoza Stadium. I don't know if you saw. Obviously, there was quite a number of pitch invasions at the end of that game in Mendoza. But how they managed to get on the field is beyond me, because the moat they had there, or the trench, was significant.
What happens if it rains at that stadium?
Well, apparently they fill it with water for football games.
Oh.
So, and rugby is like over in Argentina is a bit like rugby in England. It's kind of upper class.
Right.
So like a class system. So I think they believed that they were going to be better behaved, so they didn't fill it with water.
I see. So it's an actual old school like castle moat.
Oh yeah. And it's brutal. It's all brick and stone. So this kid who ended up getting tripped up by Sam Cane, I don't know how he managed to get on the field without breaking both his legs. But anyway, it was pretty insane trench that anyone over the age of 18 would go, I'm not going to do
100%.
that. I'm not going to do that. But obviously, if you're a young
It was a strange stadium because it's sort of underground. Like the street level's up high. It's like a pit, and then you've got like a moat in it. It must be interesting when it's playing football games in there.
And it was all standing. It was terraced, and it was like almost vertical as well.
Yeah.
It was quite cool. It was and afternoon footy over there as well. I reckon they should.
Started out loud, ended up very quiet.
Yeah.
Well, no, the issue, I don't know if those of you listen to the ACC coverage, we had no control over the ground effects. And it was real weird because they kept cranking it up and down at weird times. And sometimes we thought it was fake because something would happen and then a huge cheer would come in and we'd have to ride the fader. It was something weird was going on. Yeah. And then some of the shots were super weird with the drone and everything else. Was quite a bizarre game to watch.
I've got a 2-for-1 solution for the pitch invaders in Argentina, and it's one, replace the mascot. I don't know if Argentina even had a mascot there, but put an actual live puma in the trench. I think that would stop people from.
Yes, that's smart.
I was thinking that if they fill it with water, can we just put some dangerous
crocs
marine life?
Piranha.
Some crocs.
Some piranha.
What have they got over there?
Piranhas.
No, they have.
Do they have?
Don't they?
Yeah, South America, in the Amazon.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a quick story. I was shooting a stunt in London, and we wanted to jump over piranhas.
Yeah.
And we got the piranhas in the pool for the jump, and then the piranha wrangler said, "Hey, don't be too loud because the piranhas they get really scared and they can't handle big noises." And then what was really fucked is when we ended up in the pool, the piranhas ran to they were scared. Piranhas have been really exaggerated by the movie Piranhas 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they've got to be quite hungry. I think, and something's going to be dead as well.
Right, for them to strip it to the bone. But
But like that's
so who's going to risk it? You're a 17-year-old at a game of rugby. You're going to risk a piranha pool to get in there?
Yeah, well, they got caimans. They have caimans over there, like small crocodiles.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be quite good.
You better caiman in there.
A bit of caiman.
Yeah, and if it's dry, as you say, put the puma in there.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Or just fill it with hydrochloric acid.
Yeah,
So
that's
you,
right.
you get
Cyanide.
and then someone just slides off over touch.
Well,
oh no!
See, over in Japan, they're trying to find. They're releasing a bunch of the radioactive waste from Fukushima back out into the Pacific Ocean. Maybe just fill a couple of moats with that.
Yeah, that'd be quite good. Okay, so number 1 on the Toppa Plays of the Week, and it's all about the Warriors. This is a parody of How Bizarre. It's called Up the Wires.
Up the wires. When Marcelo runs it back, Tohu's leading from the front. We're moving up the table like a hot cross bun. Then we see Shui Guy, the coach's box behind. Blocker Roach is saying that the team is doing fine. Shawnee shows a six-pack, Dylan just scores some tries. Looking at his curls, is that a perm? Us Channel 9? Up the wires. Up the wires, up the wires.
Look,
This has got legs. This has got legs.
Yeah, it really did crowbar hot cross bun in there, though.
No, I like that moving up the table.
Like a hot cross bun.
Yeah, like you move it. Oh, check us a hot cross bun. Move it up the table.
Is that
Move it.
okay?
That's what I'm table like a hot cross bun.
Okay, I thought
it's
it was
quite specific to that particular guy, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
that's good.
I reckon the crowd. I reckon that they could get behind that at Go Hard.
they
I
should.
reckon everyone go up the wires.
Learn
wires.
the words. 4 p.m. Sunday.
I reckon just the chorus. That's not complicated.
Yeah.
Let's just get into the chorus.
Up the wires. Anyone can sing that. Up the wires, up the wires.
All right, that's the feature length. We'll be back tomorrow with the daily, and also on Monday we'll have the results of the nickname brackets as well. Get online and get your vote in. I'll see you later.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.